Word of the week. Let's get into news this week, though, as CM Punk's first WWE opponent has been revealed. Apparently, it will take place in a house show on the holiday tour. He will face Dirty Dominic Mysterio, apparently avenging his former adversary in Rey Mysterio. I am very excited for this match. They are really packing Dominic Mysterio in as a future superstar in WWE. For those of you who didn't know, he lost the NXT North American title at Deadline. I only see bright things in his future. It's funny because I actually saw Randy Orton and Logan Paul talking about this on the Impulsive podcast. Go check it out. Amazing show for them. That they didn't think Dominic Mysterio was ready, and they thought he should go away for a little while, maybe go find himself. And then once they turned him heel, both of them thought, okay, this kid's actually going to be amazing. So shout out to Dominic Mysterio. Again, it's an amazing feat to be CM Punk's first opponent back in 10 years in WWE. Awesome to see it. So shout out to Dominic Mysterio for that one. And two superstars may leave WWE that I never thought possible. Apparently, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch's contracts are both up in June of 2024, which means they could be gone before SummerSlam. That is something I never thought would happen. If it is true and they do leave, because apparently no contract extensions have been talked, according to Sean Ross from Sean Ross staff from Fightful. Again, take it with a grain of salt. You don't know what the hell is going on there. So I hope it's not true, and I hope that Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch will resign. If they don't, shout out to them wherever they go. They're going to be main eventers. And unfortunately, sad news is Jade Cargill's mother passed away from cancer. Apparently, she passed away yesterday. Sending all the prayers that I can to Jade Cargill. I can't imagine going through that loss. Cancer is a terrible disease, and we need to battle it. So I completely urge everyone, donate to things like Connor's Cure, St. Jude, to breast cancer awareness. Anything that you can donate to help stop the fight on cancer. This is a terrible disease, but if we all band together, we will beat this, and there will be time, and I saw it on a commercial, there will be a day when we all say, hey, remember when people were very, very sick from cancer? Now we just take a pill. There will be a day when we can say that, and I completely believe it will be in my lifetime, if we all band together and do it right. I lost my grandmother to cancer. I lost my grandfather to cancer. It is a terrible disease. I don't wish on anyone, and I truly hope that one day we will beat this thing. Alright, let's move on to SmackDown. SmackDown kicked off with the War and Treaty playing God Bless America for the $50,000. I forgot why there was a fine, but okay. Cody Rhodes then came out and paid tribute to the troops, which was awesome to see. Again, ever since WWE's been doing this, when they would actually originally go to Iraq and perform for the troops who were overseas, it's still a very cool thing that WWE does. I just can't say that enough. We think of Bobby Lashley versus Karrion Kross. I didn't get this match at all. It was a good match. Bobby Lashley would pick up the win. I understand them trying to push Bobby Lashley because he's in this new faction, supposed to be the leader of this new kind of hurt business thing. But at the same time, dude, you need to push Bobby Lashley as a way. You need to push Karrion Kross as something way better. I saw it was the thing of WWE trades Wardlow to AEW, gets Wardlow from AEW, and we trade Karrion Kross and Charlotte. It'd be an even trade, and I think both would work better in the other promotion. That's actually something I'm very reluctant to say. We then get CM Punk coming out saying he's not going to waste time, and how Pierce has been trying to sign him to Raw. SmackDown crowd booed this, and how SmackDown wanted him to sign. And then you get Cody Rhodes calling out people from like Randy Orton, saying, can he trust the guy with voices in his head? Can him and Kevin Owens fight when CM Punk likes to randomly punch people backstage? Which was a shout out to what he did in AEW. I couldn't believe they actually had the balls to say that. I guess the NDA is right out the books. He then called out Roman Reigns, and the fans lost their minds, and he told Roman Reigns, don't forget who was the original Paul Heyman guy. He then called out Seth Rollins for having an annoying voice and said that he isn't even the man in his own household. I don't know, man. This was a CM Punk pipe bomb promo to a T. CM Punk's just getting out every aggression he has. When this man actually is allowed to get on the mic, he gets on the mic. We think of Asuka versus Charlotte Flair. Asuka was able to pick up the win, but that is not what everybody's talking about, as Charlotte Flair apparently injured her knee during this match and had to be helped backstage. This sucks, and I wish Charlotte the best. I hope she recovers soon. It sucks to see her get injured so soon after coming back. Man, that just sucks. You think of your main event of Randy Orton and L.A. Knight, versus the Bloodline in your main event. Randy Orton and L.A. Knight were able to pick up the win. L.A. Knight was about to hit the BFT, but Randy Orton pulled Jimmy away and hit the RKO to pick up the win. Apparently tension between Randy Orton and L.A. Knight. I guess maybe that is your WrestleMania match for Orton? I want to hear, any person who is listening, I want to hear in the comments, one, I'm using my headphones as my microphone, trying something new, because I had people say you sound better on them. Let me know what you think about that. And two, what do you think the WrestleMania undercard is going to look like? Please do let me know, because we've heard about Dominic Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio, once again, or Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar. We've also heard about Gunther we've heard about all the title matches. We've heard about the Usos match, of the Usos having a WrestleMania match between them to see who's the best Us. But what about the rest of the cards? I don't know. Please let me know in the comments what you think. Let's move on to Raw's. Raw kicked off with main event Jey Uso apparently being able to use the Yeet slogan again. He talked about CM Punk being here tonight. Drew McIntyre then came out and called Jey Uso's apology to him that he posted on social media fake. After this, we got the match of Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso. Drew McIntyre was able to pick up the win with a Claymore after raking Jey Uso's eyes. So he's officially a full-fledged It was then made official that CM Punk told Adam Pearce, make it official, I'm going to enter the Royal Rumble. And when I win, the champion I'm going to challenge might just be you. Woo! Shades of Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, man. That's an awesome promo. You think of Bronson Reed versus Ivar and two big men just slapping meat, in the words of Big E. It was an awesome match. It would actually be ended by a superplex of Bronson Reed hanging off the top rope and pinning Ivar. This feud should be over by a long shot, and I honestly hope that it goes on for a while. You think of backstage as CM Punk met the Judgment Day. Priest then said he'd be willing to cash in the Money in the Bank on CM Punk. Drew McIntyre then met CM Punk and says he doesn't care about Punk's story or Cody Rhodes' story. He only cares about his own story. Punk then reunited with one of his former friends, tag team champion Kofi Kingston. They gave him a big hug. He actually referenced the "You're making me crazy, man." That was awesome to see. He met Chad Gable, shook his hand. He made a joke about Ricochet being awful in video games. Awesome to see CM Punk and Kofi giving each other a big hug. They love each other. CM Punk would actually talk about how proud he was of Kofi Kingston winning the WWE Championship and how much he was happy to see him be a main event star and how they would travel together on the road. If you're looking for a great road story, go listen to CM Punk. I'll give CM Punk credit where credit's due. I want to make this clear because I've been talking a lot about him since he's returned to WWE. I'm on a high. I'm not really a CM Punk fan. I'm not. I think he's a great wrestler, but I think he's too far in his own head. And if he has changed and this is a new guy and he's back to the old way of when he was in ROH, awesome. If not, we'll see it soon. We then get Kevin Carter versus Katana Chance. Kevin Carter and Katana Chance versus Chelsea versus Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. With the tag team champions, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven on commentary. Kevin Carter and Katana Chance would pick up the win. I guess you really are building them, which makes my last week's Battle Droid of the Week null and void. Kevin Carter and Katana Chance would pick up the win and are now number one contenders for the tag team titles. We then get the Miz and DIY versus Imperium in a very good match. This was a fun match to watch. The Miz and DIY would pick up the win, and it was then announced that the Miz challenged Gunther backstage, and Gunther said it will be a title match, but if I win, you can never challenge for his title as long as I am champion. We then get your main event of Raw. Cody Rhodes versus Shinsuke Nakamura started off as a hard-fought fight. Unfortunately, the ending sucks, as Cody Rhodes would win by DQ as Shinsuke used the mist right in Cody's face, right in front of the referee. To give Cody the DQ win, I hated this. He would then hit Cody Rhodes with another Kinshasa! And, by the way, I guess that Diamond Mine are your big face tag team now because they come out to make the save for Cody Rhodes? Why? I don't know. Okay. Alright. Good for them. It was a fun Raw. It was a fun SmackDown. I know who my Battle Droid of the Week is going to be. So let's move on to the Royal Rumble. 2007, one of my favorite winners of all time. This was a great Royal Rumble, and I'll get to the Royal Rumble match later on. But let's start with the dark match, as you would have JTG with Shad Gaspard, may he rest in peace, versus Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch. In a dark match, singles match, JTG would pick up the win. You would then get the Hardys versus Eminem, Joey Mercury, and Johnny Nitro in a 50-minute, actually very good tag team was the big thing for ECW. For those of you who don't know, ECW was a Philadelphia-based promotion, which was Extreme Championship Wrestling. No countouts, really, no disqualifications. I guess times have changed because Bobby Lashley retains the ECW Extreme Championship Wrestling title by countout. We then get Batista versus Mr. Kennedy. It'll be a singles match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Batista would pick up the win to continue his awesome reign that he had really started at WrestleMania 21, having to relinquish the title after due to injury. He would then win the title back, I believe from Booker T it would be, and would then go on to face the winner of the Royal Rumble at WrestleMania 23. We'll run that one later. We then get John Cena versus, by the way, I also want to point out real quick, so Mr. Kennedy would lose this match, but would go on to win Money in the Bank later on, and was supposed to become World Heavyweight Champion after WrestleMania 23, but was feared to have torn his pec. It turns out it was just a bit of damage on his pec, not a tear, and he wouldn't actually be injured for that long, but they took the Money in the Bank briefcase off of him, gave it to Edge, which led to one of my favorite WrestleMania main events of The Undertaker versus Edge, Streak versus World Heavyweight Championship, and actually technically Streak versus Streak at WrestleMania 24. We then get John Cena versus Umaga in an awesome last man standing match for a WWE title. John Cena picking up the win against Umaga. It's actually one of Umaga's best WWE matches, in my opinion. Shout out to the Uso, man, the ultimate Uso, Umaga. To this day, for those of you who don't know, he is actually family to Roman Reigns, Jimmy and Jay Uso, and Solo Sikoa, and even others. The Rock, he would pass away, unfortunately, due to drugs, is what I believe it was. I might have been wrong about that. I'm not going to completely go with it, but that's what it was always speculated on. He had a heart attack. But it was sad to see Umaga go. To this day, Solo Sikoa still actually uses the Samoan Spike, which was Umaga's finisher. John Cena would pick up the win and would retain his title to go into WrestleMania 23 to face the runner-up of this Royal Rumble. We then get your Royal Rumble match, and it was a doozy. Ric Flair, Matt Hardy, Edge, Tommy Dreamer, Sabu, Shelton Benjamin, Kane, King Booker, Randy Orton, Rob Van Dam. And then you get your two people who finished the match, The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. These two men would have a war at WrestleMania 25, would have one of the greatest WrestleMania main events ever in WrestleMania 26. And this is how the Royal Rumble finishes. I want to point out this took place in San Antonio in Shawn Michaels' hometown. The Undertaker would finally pick up the win after eliminating Shawn Michaels. The last four people in the match would be rated RKO of Edge and Randy Orton, Shawn Michaels, and The Undertaker. The Undertaker would pick up the win and would then go on to face Batista at WrestleMania 23. So I always love Michael Cole's gentlemen. So this is vodka, amaretto, Southern Comfort, lime juice, grenadine, orange juice, pineapple juice, and raspberries. So what you're going to do is you're going to fill your glass with ice. You're going to pour over the vodka, amaretto, Southern Comfort, lime juice, orange juice, and pineapple juice. You're going to stir it, add your grenadine, add your orange wedge and raspberries, and drink. Please drink responsibly. Do not drink it dry. Do not drink if you are in the United States. And do not overconsume on alcohol. This is a heavy drink. Please be careful with this drink. Please be safe. And now, everybody, it is time for the Voucher of the Week. The Voucher of the Week is someone I mentioned in my SmackDown review. It is Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross has really done nothing since returning to WWE. He had an awesome return attacking Drew McIntyre, but since then, he's really done nothing. I really wish they would have built him more as a champion challenger, even more than the mid-card of a main event challenger. Doesn't have to win, just has to be able to challenge. Maybe build a faction around him, do something. There was talk of a Karrion Kross faction at a time, but unfortunately that was all put to rest, and none of it has been heard of since. Please book Karrion Kross better, and until you do, he is the Voucher of the Week. Congratulations, WWE. You almost ruined this one.
Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening. I have been the big guy. This has been Wrestling Made Simple. Don't know which Royal Rumble we're going to do next week as we continue on the road to Royal Rumble. Then we finally make the turn on the road to WrestleMania.